No, every day you are being introduced by Michael Jackson himself. How many people are introduced by Michael Jackson himself? I mean, it looks cool. I'm going to put it on my resume.
Oh, I love it. Thank you, Chef. Well, I mean, what an illustrious resume you have, though. That's incredible. Did it ever occur to you in your early formative years that you'd grow up into such an illustrious career and position? Were you always driven to do it?
I love that you have an accent like me.
Well, not quite, because as an Englishman, I'm no longer European.
Sorry, English.
Sadly, yes.
An English and a Spaniard on the...
I wanted us to stay in Europe. I didn't want Brexit.
Okay, but I don't want to complain.
No. Did you ever imagine that you'd be, as I say, growing up, so illustrious with such an amazing career?
Man, you're lifting up my spirit. I mean, you know when you're cooking for your 3 daughters and your wife, and you're putting your best effort and your best love, and you're coming up with a dish, and then you sit down, and then you ask, hey, how is the dish? And my daughters began to use with indifference, say, too salty, undercook, overcook. I didn't like it. That in the morning before I go to my restaurant.
Wow.
This brings you down. So you ask me about illustrious. I mean, it's very hard to be the father of 3 girls and feel like I'm a good cook.
But you're also turning them into superstars as well, Jose. I mean, you've got them on YouTube now. You're a YouTube phenomenon.
Well, I don't know about YouTube phenomenon, but what is true is that one of the things I always try to do is tell stories. Every one of you in this room, doesn't matter where you work, in what farm, in what company, in what distribution center, in America, around the world, you don't realize maybe, but you are telling stories. Every time you put an avocado, a banana, tomato somewhere, you are telling a story. It may not look to you like, but you are telling stories. I'm telling stories through my restaurants about who I am, what I learned, where I came from. I'm a storyteller. We are all storytellers.
Yeah.
Some of us, we know about it and we realize about it, and you try to use that power to connect to the stories that is not only one way, must be always both ways. You need to connect forward, but then that connection is to revert back to you. When I tell my stories, I find many ways. Obviously, my restaurants are the way to tell my stories, but then never stops at the restaurant itself. You mentioned YouTube or social media. I have now a podcast, which I think I have 2 people.
2 million people.
2 people. No, they're trying to learn English, listening to my accent. And through that podcast, Longer Tables, I'm connecting. TV, you connect. But it's not just connection for the sake of followers, or it's deeper than that. It's connection to build Longer Tables. It's connection to send a message of what I believe we should be doing, but then listening back what I may be right or I even may be wrong. So it goes all both ways. So yes, YouTube or social media or TV. By the way, it's a commercial. I have a TV show coming on 27th of December on Discovery Plus. So please join Discovery Plus, 27th of December. Through your holidays, you'll watch my daughters and I.
Oh, magnificent.
Traveling through Spain. So yeah, that's why it's important to be connected to the world, because the stories need to be told, and you need to be receiving these stories. In the process, we all become so much powerful.
Well, let's talk about that, being connected to the world. I mean, one thing I didn't mention in that introduction of yours is you've also been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize.
I don't know what that if it's true or not, but the media reported that, but I didn't spend a lot of time on that. It was actually a headache. The same thing I'm with my daughters, and like, you've been nominated to what? Really? You, Daddy?
So they're telling you to put less salt in your food.
My house is a very good place just to make sure you understand who you are.
You're back on the level.
Yeah, Daddy go back to cook the eggs already.
And you're going, hang on, I've just been nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize.
No, but again, I don't know that. Media said that.
Wow.
There's plenty of good people, I can tell you there that.
What sparked your desire, sir, to get in to create World Central Kitchen? And not that you weren't busy enough already.
My desire? I
Yeah.
thought we were talking vegetables.
We'll get there.
Okay, that was a
Didn't they
joke.
say you were talking to your vegetable?
I mean, how early is this conference, people? I mean, come on. I mean, why we didn't begin making margaritas? I mean, margaritas are a vegetable, okay? No, seriously. Our limes, and it's tequila that comes out of a vegetable, so it's, margarita counts as 2 babies on your 5 babies a day. Okay, so what was the question again?
I fully agree.
I thought they were sleeping. Now you're awake.
Now they're aware.
Why do we do this at 9 a.m. in the morning? Why do we do this at 9 a.m. in the
It's
morning?
the only time your people said we could get you, sir.
Okay.
I was hoping for 4 in the afternoon that we could have had a margarita.
What was the question again?
Your desire to start World Central Kitchen. What, I mean, you were busy enough already. And where did this concept come from? Where did it spark?
Well, World Central Kitchen began it began in moments of no action. For the many of you that are, or maybe from Louisiana or New Orleans or America, or you remember Katrina. The Superdome, the arena. Thousands of Americans living in the low 9, New Orleans and the water, trying to escape. During days, they were in the arena without food and water. You know how far away are the main food warehouses of New Orleans from the arena? 0.4 miles. You and I, we could go walking under the water, grab bags of food, fruits and vegetables, bring them to the arena, problem solved, 10 minutes. You know what do I know that now? Because in the last hurricane in September, we opened one of the big kitchens of World Central Kitchen in front of the Superdome. Luckily, it was not so bad. We didn't have to use the Superdome. And you know what I did this first morning? Early at 5, 6 a.m. after the hurricane passed. I went to the food warehouses of New Orleans. I knocked on the door of the 2 or 3 owners who were there. During a week, New Orleans was eating bananas and avocados and tomatoes. We bought them there locally. I was able to bring them within 1 hour. We were able to buy muffaletas. So why World Central Kitchen? Because if I go back to Katrina, I didn't do anything on Katrina. I was watching from the comfort of my home. But I began realizing that actually, if restaurants, people like me, people like you, we came together, we could do in the middle of the emergency very well. Why? Because in the way I began thinking about World Central Kitchen was this. We were only an organization of 2 at the beginning, 12 years ago, when I went first to Haiti. I went to Haiti because I didn't go to New Orleans. And in Haiti, when the earthquake hit 2010, hundreds of thousands of people perished, chaos. I didn't go there to help, I went there to learn. And that's how I began World Central Kitchen. Every restaurant in the world is part of World Central Kitchen. Every food warehouse is part of World Central Kitchen. Every cook and volunteer and people of empathy that wants to help is part of World Central Kitchen. We are the biggest organization in the history of mankind. The only thing that happens is that those restaurants, those food warehouses, those food trucks, those people, they don't know they are part of World Central Kitchen. But in my brain, when I see all of you, it's funny when I go somewhere, the first question everybody always asks me is when, Jose, where do you get the food? Shit, in the food markets, in the food warehouses, it's full of them all around us. Just Google them. They are everywhere. Yeah, but I was calling and they didn't answer. Like, shit, grab a car and go and no, somebody's there, I tell you. Food is always there. What we do is we don't wait. We make whatever it takes to bring the food, to bring the kitchens, to bring the helpers. We cook and then we go to find the people. Anybody from Fort Myers? First thing we did, first hour in the morning after Ian hurricane, helicopters, Sanibel Island, Pine Island. Why helicopters? To show off No, because the bridges were broken. The only way to go to Pine Island was by helicopter. Everybody says, oh, brilliant. They're like, no shit, not brilliant, practical. What you want me used to go with a box of potatoes on my head, crossing the ocean? No, you get a helicopter. Did I answer your question?
Sort of. Sort of. I mean, you started this with your own credit card, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
You know, somebody had to pull a credit card out, and it was
Yeah. Well, this story has many parts. The credit card story was Puerto Rico. It was Maria. And I knew it was coming from Houston. It was a hurricane in Houston. I forget, there's so many names of hurricanes. It was Harvey or... Yeah, well, at least it was a man's name. I hate when they give hurricanes women's names. This woman don't deserve it. Just give men's names to the hurricanes. We are the troublemakers. But when Maria happened in Puerto Rico, it was very chaotic. We're talking about the entire island with no electricity, no